Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome to RossonARI TV. Today we're going to be talking about the preview between Juventus and AC Milan. Game day 6 of the Serie A. Another banger, one banger after the other. First we got Napoli, now we got Juve, then it's Fiorentina, and then it's Real Madrid, and then it's Man City. All the big ones, all in one. So, we're going to talk about that. We're going to analyze the formations. We're going to analyze the available players. We're going to analyze the possible tactical deployments of both coaches, how the teams have been doing, what they have been doing. And we're going to look at the bench, and we're going to see some situations that have occurred during this week, reports about LEAO, reports about Allegri, and also the national team. The national games are coming up for the World Cup qualifications. There's an AC Milan player that got called up. Gabbia gets the nod. So let's see if Gattuso will actually deploy him. Last time Gabbia went to the national team, I don't know if he even played. If he did, he didn't play much. But he's usually seen as really behind the pecking order. It'd be interesting to see if with Gattuso that changes, if there's any changes over there. So then we'll talk a little bit about the U21. The U20 is currently playing right now against Argentina. Liberali is on the pitch. I don't know whoever ex-Milanisti are, but right now Liberali is playing against U20 Argentina in the U20 World Cup. So there's a lot of action going on there when it comes to the national teams. But this is not about the national team. Let's talk about Juventus Milan. So let's get in it. All right, so first of all, the first thing that I do notice is both teams are defending in 3. Except Juventus maybe a little bit more of an offensive formation, while we have more of a defensive formation. So we play with a 3-5-2, which now we have come accustomed to. That is the Allegri formula, the 3-5-2. While, what's his name, Tudor is playing this more offensive formation. So he is sacrificing a midfielder for an added attacking midfielder, an attacking forward. It may be that is the issue with Juventus. They are conceding a lot of goals. Maybe Tudor would be smarter to do also a 2-5-3 and concede less goals. But so this is what we have. Now, let's start with Milan first. Let's look at the starting formation. First thing, guys, that pops out is the fact that Tomori, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, regardless of the reports, Gazzetta dello Sport is usually on point here, but it looks like Tomori is not playing. If there are any reports saying that he is playing, please let me know. Show me where they are. But it looks like he's not playing according to Gazzetta, so we are going to have a debut as a starter in the Serie A de Winter. Pavlovic, Gabbia, de Winter. Okay. Magnan is back in goal. I don't know what to expect from the Winter. Obviously, he played with Genoa. He knows the Serie A. He's played against Milan. He's played against Juve. So it's not like he's coming from a different league. I'm sure at this point he kind of has an idea what to expect. Not very experienced. Obviously, he's a U21. So we do not have much experience when it comes to the defense there. Obviously, Pavlovic, the more international player since he plays regularly with the national team. But our defense is okay. It's nothing special. Let's be honest. It's a normal defense. There's nothing there really. It's again, when it comes to Milan right now, it's not really about the individuals. It's more about the collective. And when the collective is united, then the individual can play better and can shine better. So if that's what Milan is really counting on, we don't have superstars in that defense, and it's just the way it is. So deal with it. Deal with it. As far as our wingers, speaking of another player that is missing is Estupinian. Estupinian, of course, got the red card against Napoli, so Estupinian will not be in the starting 11. And Bartesaghi is going to make, I believe, his debut as a starter in Serie A this season. Bartesaghi, another player that is very well loved, and a lot of people hope the best. He could be another guy. Honestly, when I've been looking at Bartesaghi, especially in the national teams, I follow the national teams really closely, the youth national teams. Bartesaghi, to me, seems like a player that can turn into some kind of a Bastoni kind of player. The more he develops, the more he grows, the more he gets familiar with Serie A, the more minutes he's been given. I do think Bartesaghi can become of the level of Bastoni. And so I'm talking about not immediately, but in the long term. Because Bartesaghi is still, in Italian terms, he's still considered young and inexperienced. This is really his first season as a player that is going to be used actually frequently in this season, because he is the second. He is the second after Estupinian. And who knows, maybe he will be the first. Who knows? But I do think, from what I have seen in the national teams specifically, I do think that Bartesaghi has the potential of becoming a Bastoni kind of player. That level. Top. You just got to wait for them, right? When Bastoni was Bartesaghi's age, you guys would have called me crazy if I said Bastoni was going to become a top player. You guys, no, Italian players all suck. What are you talking about? Italian players all suck. If I would have told you Bastoni when he was 19, 20, that this guy would have become a top player, that's what most of the people would have said. What are you talking about? Italian players all suck. So, but for people that are a little bit more in tune with how Serie A works, with how the development of players work in Serie A, specifically Italian players, through the national teams and the club, Bartesaghi, guys, I'm telling you, has the potential to become a top level player similar to Bastoni, but only his career will tell. So that is going to be interesting to see him start against such a big team. I mean, shit, he's going to be playing against Juventus at the stadium. That's a big ask. On the other side, though, guys, we have a guy that is pretty much a veteran at this point, Salamakers. One thing you know about Salamakers, even if Salamakers might have a bad game with the ball, he never has off games off the ball. And that's one of the great things about Salamakers, and really makes him unique, that even when Salamakers have bad games on the ball, recently there not have been many. Most of his games are good. He's improved a lot. His confidence has improved a lot. His dribbling, his technique, his creativity. But he is a player that will have bad games on the ball. He will make silly mistakes. It depends what period of the season it is. But one thing that Salamakers is always a guarantee, that off the ball, he'll give you 100%. He's going to always cover for his teammate. He's always going to help his teammates. He's always going to be there. These are these kind of players that coaches just love. They can't do without them, right? To think that Chukwueze was supposed to be that guy, nah. Salamakers, guys, is a chef kiss for a coach. This is the kind of player you want, because Salamakers really does the work that you need off the ball. And I hope one day he gets recognized for it, because I don't think people recognize his work off the ball, like his energy, what he puts into the game, what he puts into the team. People just don't recognize it. They look at him and they think, oh, wow, he can't dribble, he can't do double scissors, and then they say he's shit. But that's like football. You got to understand football from a bigger perspective. And Salamakers is definitely a player that Milan can rely on. The midfield. So the midfield is basically what Allegri sees as the starting midfield. Rabiot, Modric, Fofana. And the strategy is very simple. Modric is the center, the fulcrum, the engine. Everything starts from him. He is the one that dictates the play. He is the one that dictates the tempo. Fofana and Rabiot are there in support of him. They're there to protect him, essentially, and they're there as options for him. And basically, this is going to be Allegri's midfield. And this is the Allegri's always, every single midfield Allegri has built has always been this. A regista in the center, and then two box-to-box, one on one side and one on the other side. So this is classic Allegri. Right now, I would say with Modric and Rabiot, he's got a Rabiot with international experience, good level. Fofana, he has to show. Obviously, Fofana in this context, as I said, Modric makes players 20% better. Modric is making Fofana look good right now. But we definitely need, no offense to the guy, he's putting the work in, but we need something more there. We need something more. Up top, we got Pulisic and Gimenez. So Gimenez gets the nod, which was what we kind of expected, even though I still believe that once LEAO, but there's questions about that now that have arisen, but once LEAO gets in form and fitness, he is going to be the starter. I think it is the right thing to do right now to go with Pulisic and Gimenez because these two players have had the most matches, there's the most match fitness, and it's a little bit too early to start LEAO. That's a little bit too early. So according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Gimenez is the one starting. I would not be surprised if that's the case. Even though their NKUNKU is looking good in training, and Allegri might even opt to use NKUNKU. Okay, so there's some voices are saying that. And then the other voice, which is a little bit more devastating, is that LEAO is not impressing Allegri. So I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true it is, but it seems like LEAO's effort against Napoli did not impress Allegri. Allegri wants to see more heart, wants to see more sacrifice. He wants to see more hard work. That's Allegri's style. That's what he wants to see. So I don't know how true that is, but if that's the case, guys, if this is how this relationship develops, that Allegri thinks that LEAO just does not work hard enough, then we might see LEAO pushed out of the squad in January already. At that point, who knows? But if LEAO takes this as an opportunity to say, okay, I'll give you my work, I'll show you what I'm worth, I'll do what you want me to do, I'll put in the heart, then at that point, LEAO will probably be the starter. Pulisic, of course, is going to be the starter. Right now, he is the man in form, so you don't want to put the man in form on the bench, so it makes sense that he is the starter. So formation-wise, the two new kids on the block, Bartesaghi and De Winter. But for the most part, it is the usual AC Milan starting 11. Okay. Let's go to Juve. So Juve with Di Gregorio, Kelly, Rugani, Gatti. I mean, this is more or less same level as our defense. Pretty much it's the same level. Maybe Kelly more experienced than De Winter. But we're not talking about superstars here either. We're not talking about superstars on our side either. These are two defenses that you can interchange them and nothing really changes. You can put Milan's defense on Juve and Juve's defense on Milan and nothing changes. Both these defensive trio don't depend on individuals, but they depend on the collective organization of the team. If the collective works, then the individuals will come out. So it's a defense that is whatever. It's not a scary defense. Let's look at the wings. So wings, Cambiaso, top player for sure. When we sold Theo Hernandez, this was the guy to get. That would have been a player to get. If we would have when we sold Theo Hernandez, we should have gone for Cambiaso. That was the best option. They're even talking about it, but obviously our management doesn't have those kind of ambitions. We went with Estupiñán instead. But Cambiaso would have been a great replacement for Thuram, for Theo. So Cambiaso obviously there brings in good quality on the wings. And we know Kalulu. Kalulu is a solid player. So on the wings, very good. This is a good, maybe I would say better than us on the wing when it comes to the side players. I would say Cambiaso is better than Salamakers and Kalulu is better than Bartesaghi. I mean, if I would say the opposite, I'd just be like a Milan. A guy with Milan lenses, but that's not who I am, guys. That's not what I do, guys. That's not what I do. I don't just exalt our players because they wear the red and black shirt. I talk about football objectively, and that's the truth here. When it comes to the wings, Cambiaso and Kalulu, I would say better than us, and that is a clear level above us, I would say. Even if Estupinian was there, I would say it too. Locatelli, McKennie, definitely there, downgrade, and we definitely get the advantage in the midfield. Obviously, when you have Modric, you're always going to have the advantage in the midfield. So midfield, we definitely have a good setup. Locatelli, McKennie is it's a solid setup. It's a solid setup. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But it's definitely not what our setup is superior. There's no doubt about it. You can take that to the bank. Our midfield is clearly superior. But Locatelli and McKennie are both players that are used to being in the top four. They play Champions League. They play big games. They've been playing big games in Europe. These are top four level players. While we have an elite level player with Modric, and then Rabiot is also a top four level player. Fofana, I don't know if he's a top four level player. So far with Milan, he hasn't been. He's been a top 8 level player. But Modric, of course, he's more than a top 4. He's a trophy winning player, and Rabiot has also won many trophies. So when it comes to the midfield, obviously Milan is going to have advantage here. Now, when it comes to the offense, this is interesting. This is definitely interesting. Yildiz has been kicking ass. We definitely know that. He has been pretty much, Yildiz has been what Pulisic has been for us. So they definitely have weapons. I mean, De Winter and Gabbia, Yildiz ain't going to be afraid of De Winter and Gabbia the same way Pulisic ain't going to be afraid of Kelly or Rugani or Gatti So when it comes to the offense, both our offensive players can do damage. Both our offensive players can do damage to them, and their offensive players can do damage to us. They have one extra offensive player, so they're going to be dangerous on the left, on the right, and then they're going to be dangerous in the middle as well. While we are going to be more protected. We're going to be more, based on this formation, we're going to be the team that is going to stay back. And because they're going to, with Yildiz, Conceição, Cambiaso, and Kalulu, specifically those 4 players, and then Locatelli, McKennie doing the protection work, they're going to push us in their own half, probably. While we are set up with only Pulisic as a playmaker, offensive playmaker. They have 2 playmakers there. Well, we have a low playmaker. So most likely, guys, based on what I'm seeing and based on my calculations, it is going to be a game that Milan is going to be playing on the counter. And Juve is going to... There are going to be moments where Juve will squash us. We saw this when we play against teams that have quality players on both sides. We do get squashed. But, the thing is that Allegri does not train the team to play tiki-taka. Allegri trains the team to play direct. He doesn't need to do 20 passes to score a goal. 3 passes is enough, and then you can score. So, that's the thing with Allegri. That's the thing that... and when you have a Modric that can interpret those kind of tactics, it helps. It definitely helps. So all in all, I would say that the teams are more or less... I think what separates us is Modric, honestly. Modric is clearly the player that is the guru, the master, the maestro. He is the difference in these two formations. Aside Modric, it's a pretty even formation. Right now, Milan is, I would say, in a good period of form. They're running on easy mode. They got no Europe. They got 1 week to think about the games. While Juventus just came off of a game against, I believe it was Villarreal, if I'm not mistaken. And they tied 2-2. That was a tough game, you know. So Juventus is coming off of a tough game. We definitely should be fresher. But also remember that teams that play in Europe also do have a lot of energy. They do have a lot of energy. And teams that only play once a week tend to lose energy. So it's very important for the coaches to manage these situations as well. It's very important for Allegri to manage all this time without playing well and take advantage of it. I would say that Milan are the slight favorites for tomorrow. I would edge Milan as the slight favorites, but this is the thing that you have to remember. This is Juventus we're playing against. Juventus is definitely going to bring their heart, their history, their pride, and they have some quality players. So I would give edge to Milan, but this game can go either way, or it could be a tie. All right? So for me, I would say slight edge to Milan, simply because we have Modric, and Modric will make things work. But then if you look at the wings, they have maybe better wings with Yildiz Cambiasso and Kalulu Conceição. Those wings are going to give us problems. Both sides. Both sides are going to give us problems. And it's going to be very important for us to take advantage of those situations and catch them on the counterattack. Honestly, LEAO would have been perfect for this game. I definitely see Juventus with those chains, especially the Cambiasso Yildiz chain and the Kalulu Conceição chain, squash us here in this side of the field. And with LEAO, that will create a lot of space. So LEAO might come in this second half, probably, if he does play. And maybe he scores a few, and then he's the starter in the next game. Let's look at the benches. So for Milan, we have Terracciano, Pittarella, who's probably another goalkeeper. I don't know who that is. Atakame, the player that looked like he was an ostrich on ice. Tomori is on the bench, so he might play. Here it says 75 Tomori, 25 De Winter. Sorry, 75 De Winter, 25 Tomori. So he might play. And if Tomori plays, that is maybe it edges us even better. Odogu, another youngster. Ricci, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get to see much of Ricci at all this season, honestly. Allegri is going to play Modric as much as he can. Ricci, if he comes in for Fofana, he comes in for Rabiot. But honestly, Jashari, Ricci, Modric, Allegri is going to... One of these players is barely going to play. We're definitely going to see Loftus-Cheek, and I'm sure we're going to see NKUNKU LEAO. So midfield-wise, we only have two midfielders. That's not very good. That is definitely not very good. We should have more midfielders there. Ricci and Loftus-Cheek, we should at least have one more midfielder. Don't we have anyone we can bring from the Primavera or from the Futuro? That's crazy. All right, what about them? So they have Perin, Pinsoglio, Joao Mario, Kefrem Turam, Coop Miners, Kostic, Adzic, Zagrova, Vlahovic, Openda. Okay, so midfield-wise, they do have some good options coming in. If this is how they're going to play, how Gazzetta showing. I mean, they have Turam, Coop Miners, Kostic on the wings, Adzic, this young, interesting player. He is also quite young, but he's been looking good. Zagrova, I'm not sure about Zagrova. He's a very technical player, but I don't know how effective he is. Vlahovic coming from the bench. I mean, yeah, Openda. Yeah, look, Juventus honestly has a Champions League roster, right? They have a Champions League roster. as far as numbers and as far as well, we have more of a just a Serie A roster. Yeah, that kind of then changes things a little bit. Honestly, if you look at the benches, you could argue that maybe Juventus has slightly more options on the bench, numerically, and also important players. Because look at who we are bringing in from the bench. Atekame, guys, is a U21 that comes from Switzerland. We saw what he looked like against Napoli. He was scared. Odogu is 19 years old, coming from a different league. So we only have Tomori or Ricci. Tomori in defense. They do have Joao Mario. They don't have much in defense either, to be honest with you. They're missing Bremer. They have Joao Mario. So in defense, they're not looking great. Defense, I don't think they're looking great. They have 4 players available. Well, they do have Kalulu. They could bring in Kalulu in defense and then put Kostic on the wing or whatever other player. They could do that. But the defense, I would say Juventus is not looking that great either. Midfield, they do have good options, I would say. Thuram, Cook Miners, those are good options. Adzic as an attacking midfielder, Zagrova. Offense, they have good options. I think they have good options. At the end of the day, this game, guys, it's if Juventus finds its pride and plays for its pride, and the stadium is behind Juventus, it's going to be a very difficult game. But if Milan can take advantage of the goals that Juventus has been conceding, so I'm sure Allegri and his staff has been studying how Juventus has been conceding all of these goals. I'm pretty sure they're looking at that and they're trying to see if they can break that weakness, because Juventus has been conceding tons of goals, guys, tons of goals. Juventus right now is a complete mess when it comes to the defense. It's easy to score against Juve. It's easy to score. All teams, no matter what the team, they can all score. So if Allegri takes advantage of whatever that weakness is, then I think we can take it home. But if Juventus comes with that pride and that stadium and blah blah blah, and Yildiz wants to show off that he's the big number 10 and all that crap, they can get the win too. Guys, it's Milan Juventus, It's not it's one of the big games of Italy. It wouldn't be prudent to say Milan is just going to overrun Juve or Juve is going to overrun Milan. This is a game where emotions and feeling and history and legacy, it all comes there, and that's what they're fighting for. So it's going to be an interesting game. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I think tactically with LEAO it would favor us better. But tactically, yeah, I'll repeat it one more time, then I'll come to chat. Tactically, I see Juventus being more the aggressors simply because they have more attackers. And Milan is going to try and catch him on direct play on some sort of a counterattack based on these formations. But then we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's go to chat. Buongiorno dall'Australia. Come stiamo? Let's go. People, please like and subscribe. Yes, sir, guys. What are you waiting for? Like and subscribe, turn the notifications on, do all that good stuff. This is a winnable game as long as they finish the chances right away. And listen, that's one of the things that Milan is good right now, is being clinical. And if you can, you have to try and maintain that as long as you can. It's not going to last forever, but if you can maintain that as long as you can, that is definitely going to be an advantage. Roy, do you think LEAO will lose his place permanently? No. I think if LEAO plays the way Allegri wants him to play, not tactically, just with the heart. If LEAO plays with his heart, he can do whatever he wants. He'll be the starter. I think if LEAO shows Allegri that he's willing to play for the cause, he's going to be the starter. I have a bad one. I have a bad one about tomorrow's game. Juve is pissed with the chip on their shoulders. Yep, 100%. They're also playing home. We can expect miracle goals. Also not sure how Milan will react when a goal down. Yeah, still something we still have to see for sure. And yeah, guys, don't underestimate Juve. Now listen, Juve, it can also go the other way. If we thrash Juve, if we demolish Juve, we can send them in a crisis. Right? We can send them in a mini crisis, and that will definitely slow them down. But I wouldn't expect that to happen. If it happens, great, but I wouldn't expect that to happen. Inter is looking scary again. They're physically strong. Now with the youth additions, fucking Shiva is becoming a genius all of a sudden. Well, listen, Inter, for me, has the second best roster in Italy after Napoli. So it's not like Chivu has that much. Look, Chivu's doing a good job, but he also has a really good roster to work with, and it's a big roster. He's got a big roster. Guys, Inter is always going to be Inter. Inter's a strong team. Inter is a team that can reach finals of the Champions League, no problem. So it is what it is. What's up, Fahadino? How you doing, bruv? Roy, Robert Lewandowski will come in the summer and we will partner Pulisic. I don't think LEAO will be around. But that I agree with. I don't think LEAO will be here in the summer. I think this is LEAO's last season. As far as Lewandowski, I would love to see Lewandowski at Milan. I am hearing, though, that because of his salary, that the management doesn't want to raise the salary cap. But listen, guys, we're talking about Inter for a minute here, right? Inter finished their last season, the 24-25 season, in a profit for the first time in their history. Okay, there was a piece on Gazzetta dello Sport about this. For the first time in Inter's history, they finished with a profit. Okay, so what does that show? That shows that you can still have top players in their prime, like Lautaro, Thuram, Barella, Di Marco, Bastoni, give them competitive salaries, European competitive salaries, and fight for major trophies, and still come out of it on the other side with a profit. Proof is in the pudding. So why the fuck isn't Milan doing that? What are we doing with these Moneyball bullshit players? It hasn't worked. What has worked is what Inter is doing, which is what Milan is supposed to be doing, fighting for the Scudetto and fighting for the Champions League. That has been working. So it's a mess, guys. We have the worst ownership management that has ever existed in the history of football, guys. There is no doubt about it. They have to be the worst ever. We're getting here fucking just humiliated with their work. Argentina versus Italy, U20 still 0-0. Goal from Italy. Nice. Good. No goal. Here we go. Goal review, no goal. Back to 0-0. Conceição will eat. Yildiz is stronger than Salah. Allegri parking the bus too. I think Juve will win if they have Kalulu man mark Pulisic. Yeah. No, listen. Juventus has every reason to believe they can win, but so does Milan. If I were you, I would not underestimate Milan, especially right now. Right now, Milan is in form. Milan has and Milan is on easy mode. That's the thing. There's no pressure for Milan. Milan is on easy mode. There's no Europe. It's just one game a week. There's no nothing. Milan is operating on easy mode, bro. So you got to watch out. Juventus, if Milan beats, there is a chance that Milan can thrash Juventus. And if that happens, Juventus goes in a crisis, early of a season crisis, and you don't want that. But, yes, you're right. Conceição, Kalulu is definitely going to be a problem on that side. Yildiz, Cambiaso are definitely going to be a problem on the other side. And these guys are going to squash us. They're going to create chances. We have to be good defensively. And then when we win the ball back, we have to catch them on the counter. That's how the game is going to go. LEAO and NKUNKU can outrun their defenders coming off the bench. Yeah, I don't know about NKUNKU, but LEAO for sure, 100%. I agree. Hasta Juve can hurt us with their wingers. Yeah, yeah, they definitely can. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Let's continue. It's going to be a difficult match. Yeah, of course, for both teams. For both teams. Yeah. Hello, Roy. Metro Yoda in the house. What's up? Milan are the favorites in this game. I don't mind the way we're playing right now and hit the opposition in the counter. Yeah, look, it's. Let me say this. It's nice when it works, okay? But then when it stops working and your team is always there in defense, it doesn't look nice anymore. But right now, as long as it works, it looks good. And that's what Milan should do. I'm curious how Allegri will handle being 1 or 2 goals down. We haven't seen that scenario yet. We didn't react well against Cremonese. Inter and Juve scores goals for fun. Well, Inter scores goals for fun. I don't know if Juve is scoring goals for fun, but yeah, you're right. We haven't seen that yet. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what that looks like against a big team, right? I mean, as long as we stay 11 afield, it's going to be. One thing about this game is that we're going to learn a lot about the teams. Parking the bus team never beat Juve. The closest they were to a loss was V Dortmund and Inter, who attacked. I think Milan need to score first, otherwise they and the neutrals watching are in trouble because we know Juve can come back. But Allegri, yet to prove it. The ideal would be to score in the first half and then dictate how the game goes, right? And then, since Juve is most likely going to be the aggressor because they have the stronger wings, the ideal would be to score in the beginning and then just keep on playing that game till the end. Just defend till the end and then catch them on the counters. Or those moments where you have the ball, be good and be clinical when you have the ball. But the idea that would be the ideal for sure. And going into the long run, both teams have weapons. Both teams have weapons. Going into the long run, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. Even if LEAO is on the pitch, but I mean, the LEAO that we saw against Napoli wasn't going to score a goal to save his life. We need the LEAO, the match fit LEAO. The match fit LEAO, the confident LEAO is another thing. Is he there yet? We'll have to see. But they have Vlahovic, they have Openda. These players are fit, and they're going to come in. They have other players. We need to win this game in the first half. I think we need to win the game in the first half. Park it. I'll take 1-0 all day long tomorrow. All right. What's up, Marshall? Odds on Allegri taking off his jacket and Rabiot goal. Rabiot goal, probably good chances. And Allegri taking his jacket off, probably 100%. It's going to happen. 100%. Okay, so yeah, guys, that is the preview for Juventus Milan. This is one of my favorite games in all of the football. Juventus Milan has always been one of my favorite games since I was a little child. I always considered these the two best teams of Italy. So this is for me the real derby. We need a similar start like we did against Napoli to settle the game down. Yeah, that would be ideal for sure. No doubt about it. Can we do that? To be seen. Combined 11. Yeah, we can do that. Surely Red John will send in a couple of photos and videos from the stadium. Oh yeah, guys, Red John, our buddy Red John, is going to be at the stadium tomorrow. So he's going to share his experience. He is going to share his experience. All right, guys, let's do a combined 11. I like that. I like that idea. Let's start with Magnan and Di Gregorio. So who do we choose, guys? Who do you choose, Magnan or Di Gregorio? Obviously, the choice here is Magnan. Obviously, guys, the choice here is Magnan. Are you kidding me? Come on. Yeah. Obviously, it's Magnan. Right now, Magnan, last season, Di Gregorio. Yeah, I mean, right now, Magnan. Magnan for sure. Okay, so defense. Let's start with Pavlovic. Should we do it mirror? Should we do it mirror like this, or should we do it juxtaposed? What do you guys think? Mirror or juxtaposed? What do you want to do? Bremer's not playing. Let's just do mirror for now. No, let's do juxtaposed. We're going to do juxtaposed. So position per position. So Pavlovic and Kelly, guys. Who do you choose out of Pavlovic and Kelly? Who do you choose? You want to do mirror? But mirror is you're a left and a righty. Juxtapose is left to left. I think juxtapose is better. Right? Juxtapose is left to left, right to right. Mirror is left to right, right to left. So Pavlovic and Kelly, guys. Who do we do? Who do we choose? This is a good one. This is a good one. So I got two Kellys. I got a Pavlovic. I think this one here really depends on what team you support. I'm not a big Pavlovic fan, but I'll go with Pavlovic, guys. I'm not a big Pavlovic fan. I wish he wasn't at Milan, but I'll go with Pavlovic. I don't know if Kelly is maybe Pavlovic is maybe a little bit more experienced than Kelly. Kelly has scored some big goals recently, but I'll go with Pavlovic. Both shite, but Kelly right now goal threat. Yeah, I mean, you can also argue that Pavlovic had a key play in the 2-1 victory over Napoli. He set up. He had a good play on the wing. Set up Fofana with the layoff to Pulisic. Yeah, this one here, guys, it's going to depend on what team you support. So, whatever. The Juventini are going to say Kelly, the Milanists are going to say Pavlovic. Gabbia Rugani, guys. Gabbia Rugani. Center for center. I am going to go, again, here, guys, it's not like we're choosing between Cannavaro and Nesta, yeah? We're choosing between, whatever it is. I will go with Gabbia because Gabbia is a better playmaker than Rugani. And in that position, in the center, you need to have composure. You need to be a technical player. And Gabbia has all the qualities to perfectly fit that position in a three-man defense. So this one here for me is clear. Gabbia over Rugani. If you want to put in your 2 cents, go ahead. Gabbia, while insane downfall for both teams at the back. De Winter, Gatti, obviously Gatti here. This is an easy one. De Winter is Bambino. We don't even know how De Winter is going to play. Gatti has definitely much more experience. He's been a top 4 player ever since he joined Juventus. He's played in the national team. So this one here is a pretty simple choice. According to this formation, according to what we know, Tomori is not playing. Tomori is not playing. According to what we know, based on his fitness. So, okay, so far the defense is Magnan, Pavlovic, Gabbia, and Gatti. I think that is fair. I think that is fair. Rabiot scores tomorrow? Yeah, probably. All right, okay, Bartesaghi, Cambiasso, guys. Bartesaghi, Cambiasso, easy, guys. This is easy as hell. Obviously, Cambiasso. We don't even need to think about this one. Cambiasso. What do you mean change? Cambiasso. Cambiaso, by the way. It's not asso. Cambiaso. Yeah, left wing for left wing. Cambiaso, obviously. Easy. Easy choice. Easy choice. Salamaker's Kalulu. Interesting. Wow. This is a toss-up. This is a toss-up. They're both players that give her all. They're both players that we've seen win a Scudetto. They have very similar qualities. Salamaker's better on the ball. Kalulu better defensively. Wow, this is a 50-50, guys. 50-50. You guys are going to go with Salamakers? Salamakers, Saleh. All right, let's go with Salamakers, guys. I mean, I guess for that position, you need someone that can attack and defend. So, Salamakers. While Kalulu is much better at defending, maybe his offensive... Exactly because it is. It's right where you need to attack. So, Salamakers has the attacking stats with him, attacking abilities with him. So, we'll go Salamakers. Salam. We'll go with Salam. All right, so far we have Magnan, Gatti, Gabbia, Pavlovic, Cambiasso on the left, and Salamakers on the right. Let's go to the midfield. So here we're going to go. How should we do this? Let's see. So we're going to use Yildiz as a striker. So David and Yildiz are going to be the two strikers, and we're going to use Conceição as the attacking midfielder. Should we do that, or should we use Yildiz as the attacking midfielder, guys? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I would say let's use Yildiz as a striker. Yildiz as a striker, and David as a striker, and Conceição, Locatelli, McKennie as the three that we're going to compare in the midfield. All right, so Rabiot, McKennie, guys. Rabiot, McKennie. Who do we choose? Very similar players, to be honest with you. They both kind of do the same thing. Both of them international. Both of them have... both of them important players for their national teams. Maybe I need to be persuaded here. Who do you guys think? Who's better? Rabiot, McKennie? We got two Rabiots here. Adrien Rabiot. Bruh, I would not have any of these two guys in any team I would ever build, so it's hard for me to choose, honestly. I would never even consider none of these guys. If I were to build my own football team, I wouldn't consider it, but none of these. But I think just out of seniority, I'll go Rabiot as well. I'll go with Rabiot as well. So Rabiot. And it's totally legit. Modric, Locatelli, guys, I think that is an easy one. Obviously, if you're intelligent, you're going to say Locatelli. If you're crazy, you're going to say Modric. So I'm going to go with Locatelli. No, of course not. This one is an easy one, guys. I mean, come on. Obviously, Modric. And they play more or less the same position. Modric just levels ahead. So right now we have a lot of Milan players in this starting 11. A lot of Milan players. And then the last one here, Conceição, Fofana. The question is, would you rather have Fofana as a midfielder or Conceição as a winger? If you had the choice. If you had the choice, would you rather have Fofana in your team as a midfielder, or would you have Conceição in your team as a winger? So Chris Patterson says he would rather have a Fofana in his team as a midfielder. Nirak says Conceição. I wouldn't even take a Locatelli back. Fofana, love my Fofana. But guys, are we doing this because he's playing for Milan? I mean, let's be objective here. Let's be objective, because I think if you want to be objective, I think Conceição is the more valuable player. But if you want to be Milanista, you're probably going to say Fofana. But I think Conceição is probably the more valuable player. I mean, Conceição, it seems like it, right? It seems like it. Conceição is showing some good things. Yeah, honestly, here, guys, I'm going to have to go with objectivity. And yeah, but I mean, of course, the system, but we're also, I mean, the thing is that we're playing different formations. So at the end of the day, would you rather play a 3-5-2 with Fofana or Fofana and... Yeah, no, guys. I think it's for me, guys. For me, it's Conceição, and it's not that Conceição is that great of a player, but I would rather play a 3-4-2-1 with Modric and Rabiot in the midfield and Conceição as an attacking midfielder than Fofana. Of course, 3-5-2 with Fofana makes sense. Yeah, of course, but we have to kind of be malleable here. We have to see things objectively. Okay, so whatever. For me, it's Conceição, just because I think he's a more valuable player than Fofana. I don't rate Fofana very highly at all, guys. I think Fofana is... Guys, honestly, you know me, guys. I don't give a fuck about... For me, if Fofana is the same level as Bakayoko, more or less. So, Conceição for me. Okay, so we've done the defense and the wings and the midfield. So far, the team is Magnan, starting from the right, Gatti, Gabbia, Pavlovic. Then the two wingers on the right, Salamakers, Cambiasso. And then as far as the midfielders, the three midfielders, starting, well, here, I'm giving you mine. Starting from the right, Conceição as the attacking mid. I mean, okay, yeah. Let's do this. The midfield is going to be Modric, Rabiot, and then the two attacking midfielders for me are obviously going to be Pulisic, one, so we have two players left, Yildiz and David. So let's put, who would you rather have, Yildiz or David or Pulisic or GIMENEZ? I would rather have I don't know. What do you guys think? Give me an idea here. I think Pulisic, I mean, I would definitely put Pulisic and Yildiz in and the same fucking formation. So 3-4-2-1. Okay, Modric, Rabiot, Yildiz on the left, Pulisic on the left, Yildiz on the right. No, Pulisic on the right, Yildiz on the left. Attacking midfield, and David striker. That's how I would do my formation. I would do my formation in a 3-4-2-1, and I would do it like that. That's me. You can't take Yildiz out, guys. You have to keep him in. How can you take Yildiz out? That'd be crazy. Pulisic you can't take out. You have to have both Pulisic and Yildiz. Those are the two game changers. Those are the two guys that change the games. All right, Roy, off topic, but we need to start thinking about signing another veteran mid to replace Modric in the future. Sergio Milan, that would be nice. Or Kaka, at this point. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. By the way, guys, I know I put out this message saying that there's a few people on some podcasts that have that I watch, Italian podcasts, that have corroborated that Milan has essentially been sold, that the due diligence part has already been done, and pretty much once they officialize the sale of the stadium, we're going to start seeing this. Now, I don't know how true this is, but these are people that seem pretty reliable. And now it's 3 people that have corroborated this, that they've seen the documents, that Milan has been sold, that Milan is already going to go in the hands of another American family. Apparently, not a hedge fund or anything, a family. So, very interesting. I don't know how true any of this is, guys. Take it with a grain of salt. Pulisic, just you have to. You can't. Come on, bro. You can't. You can't go without those two, bro. Okay, so guys, that's it. That's it for today. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to have a post-match. The Yankees owner. It could be the Yankees owners. American family can be worse than Redbird. I don't know. Head coach, obviously Allegri. No doubt about it. But if you bring in Allegri, then Conceição is on the bench and Fofana is playing. So we go back to the 3-5-2. But yeah, Allegri for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, guys, don't take this as a fact. There is an Italian YouTube channel, and you have people there they're lawyers and they work with financial institutions, and they're there in Milano. And they're saying that it's a done deal, pretty much. Yeah, Pellegatti is not saying the exact same thing that these other guys are saying. But Pellegatti also did mention this. It could be them. It could be them, then. It could be this. It could be the Steinbrenners. But apparently they saw the due diligence documents, so that means that it's happening. If it's true, that means it's happening. I don't know. I don't know who the owners are. They just saying it's American owners, American family. What's up, Raul? How you doing, bruv? Good to see you guys back. Yeah. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to do a post-match. It's going to be open. I wanted to open it today, but I started getting into the tactics, and then whatever, I forgot. I'll open it next time. But I'm about to close in a few minutes. Yeah. Let's see how Italy is doing against Argentina. Let's see. Still 0-0. Argentina is taking 8 shots, Italy 2. And let's see the other game, Cuba, Australia. Australia's winning 3-0? Oh, that is great. That means Italy goes through. Oh, Italy's going through, guys. Wow. Thank you to Australia, guys. Thank you to Australia. Italy is going through. That's insane. Yeah, Italy's going through, guys. Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Kim. Italy's going to the next. Italy's going to the next phase. Did you know the loser of tomorrow's game is fifth, no matter who? Oh, interesting. I didn't know. Thank you to Kim's boys. Nice. All right, let me see any updates here. Let's see if there are any updates before we close. Anything that could be interesting. Wow, Juric says they're missing 4 points. 4 points have been taken away from Atalanta. Sorry, loser. Let's see. Nico Paz, guys, is having a great season, huh? That's a player to maybe look at. If Milan wants to get a playmaker for the future, Nico Paz is definitely going. Tomorrow, Fiorentina Roma. That's a big game, guys. Roma has conceded only one. Is this true? That Roma has only conceded 1 goal in Serie A. People here have been fucking glazing about Allegri, but Roma has only conceded 1 goal in Serie A. Let's see if this shit is true. So Roma, 12 points, 5 goals for, 1 goal against. Interesting. We've scored 9 goals and conceded 3, so our goal difference is 6. But they only conceded 1 goal in 5 games. Damn, Inter's already scored 17 goals. That's crazy. Jeez. But Inter has conceded 8 goals. That's a lot. In 5 games, 8 goals is way too much. 6 games, 8 goals is way too much. Those are not Scudetto number winning goals. Roma with 1 conceded goal. That's impressive. Milan with 3, Napoli with 5, Juventus 5, Atalanta 5, Como 5. Wow, Como 7th place. Como showing up. Cagliari 5, Bologna 5, Lecce 10, Torino 13, the team that has conceded the most goals. Genoa has only conceded 7. They just can't score. Genoa can't score. Inter 17 goals. Wow. Inter. Let's see if anything here before. We're gonna go 5 more minutes. Perrone risponde. No, don't give a fuck. Don't care. Chivu talking crap. Could Lewandowski really leave Barcelona? I think if we get Lewandowski in winter, things change. Things change because then you have a Modric up top. You have Modric in the midfield, then you have another Modric up top. Things definitely change. Modric can expect a few more players marking him tomorrow. Yeah, of course it's going to be a difficult game. Igor Tudor wants his team to double up on Luka Modric. Yildiz and Thuram McKennie will be tasked with stopping him. Modric will love the challenge. Dumfries is pissed off that he got changed. He got subbed. Dumfries doesn't like getting subbed. By the way, something interesting about Inter is the management of Di Marco. If you look at how Di Marco has been managed from Chivu, Di Marco is producing much more than how he was producing before. Barella says, we needed a player like Boni. Now we can be more vertical. Chivu says that Dumfries is right to get angry. He should get angry. All right, so this is another predicted. So this is Sky. Now, Sky usually doesn't get it right. Usually, Gazzetta gets it better than Sky. But Sky maybe has a different information here. What is it? Okay, so according to Sky, Tomori is playing. While Gazzetta says that most likely De Winter is going to start. Yeah, that's right. Bremer. Good thing Bremer isn't playing tomorrow. Seems Tomori could be back. So some reporters saying that Tomori is going to play. Tomori is going to play. In that case, then Tomori over Gatti. All right, well, that's it, guys. That's it for today. Tomorrow, predictions. Yeah, let's do predictions. Tell me your predictions, guys. Go for it, and then we're done. With LEAO, what happens with LEAO? Guys, LEAO is out. He's gone. LEAO is going to be gone next season, boys. Predictions, I give a slight edge to Milan, but it's Juve, you never know. And it's not like one team is that much better than the other. They're pretty balanced. Faladinho says 1-1. What about anybody else before we close? Yeah, I'll give a slight edge to Juve. 2-0. 2-0 for Juve, Edison says. I'll be different. 2-1 Juve only because they're more flexible when losing. 2-1 for Juve. So we got 2-0 for Juve from Edison and 2-1 for Juve. Ah, so you mean 0-2. 0-2, Edison. We're away. I think 1-2. 1-2 is going to be the result. Just like the Napoli game. 1-2. But honestly, guys, I have 4 scenarios. The one that I think is most likely is a narrow win from Milan. The second best scenario that I think is a tie, and a tie that probably Juventus deserve to win, not a tie that Milan deserve to win. Then Juventus can. Then the third option is a narrow win by Juventus just because they put pride and whatever. But the fourth one, guys, is a big win from Milan. Big win from Milan, like a 4-0 kind of win, which will send Juventus into a beginning of a season crisis. So those are my 4 predictions. The first one is slight win by Milan. Second one is a tie, but Juve deserve to win. Third one is a win that Juventus wins just because of inertia, emotion, energy. And the fourth one, big win from Milan, which sends Juventus into a crisis because Juventus is conceding a lot of goals. A lot of goals. So, got to watch out. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow the lines are going to be open, so we're going to do a post-match right after the game. It's going to be fun to watch. We'll see you next time. Peace out. Ciao.